What's up guys, Richard here. I just wanted to show you a really quick system I built out which was basically for an inventory system or a container slash inventory system. I never really finished it and I probably won't because I learned a lot in the process and I will probably end up rewriting it in the future for myself, but I figured I would show what I've managed to create so far and talk about what I've learned. So basically you're in your third person and I kind of designed the camera so it would work in a World of Warcraft style. So you can pull the camera with your right mouse button and then you can select things with your left mouse button. And you noticed here I selected on a box. These boxes are meant to be containers, but I haven't made any like assets for them. And I've kind of stolen the World of Warcraft ones as well. And here you can see this container's got items in it. They've got little pop-ups which show basically what they are, except there seems to be a little bit of a bug there. Not sure what's going on. This is all written in C++, but one of the cool things with the system is you can open up a second container and it shows this one as the primary container because it's closest to you, and you can rotate it around and the containers swap positions, and on top of that you can grab this container and you can pull it around the screen. Now you can't pull it off the screen, and when you're holding it then that container is always highlighted because it suggests that this container is being held. Now when you move around, the other containers, they all continue to float around based on where their box positions are, and then you can open up that container again and it kind of resets it back to where it was. And then let's, for example, if you want to go into one of the containers, so I'm going to put my mouse over this one, and when I put my mouse over it, it kind of highlights it again. And then I can grab items out of the container, boom, 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 and the container disappears because that's it. There's no more items left in that container. And that's pretty much the entire system. I had this crazy idea of building like a RPG World of Warcraft style game. Never really finished it, but I did build the container system and I learned a lot from that. The main thing, the main takeaway I would say for anyone attempting this is don't try and create widgets and just add them to the screen. What you need is one master widget, which is just a canvas, and then you add these other containers as children. Now, the reason behind this comes down to simply one thing. That is Z order. So I'm changing the Z order of these widgets. If you add them all as simply independent widgets on the screen, there's no way to Z order them except for to remove them all and then put them all on the screen in the order that you want them to appear, which obviously is not an efficient way of doing things, and it also causes like weird flickering and stuff. So what you have to do is you need to use one widget, its canvas, and then you add the other widgets onto it as children to the canvas. Anyway, the code itself is not actually that complex, so you can probably ignore most of the stuff above where it says managers and data and all that because it's not really relevant. I guess I'll show you. I kind of built out some structures here. I've got this one which is for the item structure, so it has a thumbnail, name, description, a count, so it can show how many are inside that item grouping. Item quality, I literally stole the World of Warcraft quality levels and then I created a slate color so that you can just easily pull on that color for the widget itself, and then a container type, so the container details, so its name, its thumbnail, items in the container. Anyway, so it comes down to, at the top level, you have this class here, which is the dock widget base. It has all the requirements here, so a button, a text block, image, border, more buttons, and then a canvas panel slot so that you can track your slot position. This meta tag at the end here, meta bind widget, means that when I create the blueprints version of the widget, it must have a close button called close button. It must have a text block called name. It just ensures that there's no breaks between code and blueprints. Okay, so then I've just got a tick function down here, which is where a lot of it happens. Obviously, tick functions are not the best for performance-wise, but if you're constantly relocating something on the screen when you're moving the mouse around, and I'm assuming you'd never have more than 4 containers open at a time, otherwise it'd just get crazy. It's not that bad. Like, it really doesn't impact on performance. Obviously, you're not going to have 100 containers open at once. Okay, then I've got all these helper functions which are used by the derived class, the container widget base, and then the other ones. So you've got like get widget position, widget size, widget screen size, because there's actually no just simple functions that do this. Like this one here, I've got to go into the slot and then get the position, that's fine. Get the widget size was actually get the desired size because I kept confusing myself with the built-in one of getting widget size. Get the widget screen size as the viewport divided by the scale so that I could locate things better. And then I've got get active position as widget position. Because this one here is actually part of the widget layout library, I didn't want to have to type this out every single time I used it, so I just had this simple function that did that. There's a few others in here. So down here, if we go on the onPickup widget, it basically kicks in, invalidates the layout so that it can set all the Z order and everything correctly before the next tick, before the next drawing of the frame. On drop widget, you have kind of the reverse situation. Tick widget, so it goes, okay, don't tick if it's not constructed yet. And then we do the tinting, which is like the light and darkness based on this target tint and current tint. So basically when you put your mouse over something, it doesn't instantly tint. It's kind of like, it kind of lerps between them. Okay, then so we've got, you set the content color and opacity for the tints. Then you go if you walk too far away from the widget, it then closes it. I've got like a hard value in here, 600, but you can always put that as a variable. Set the distance to the owner, so basically it's now determining, what order am I going to be in? Because I need to know how far away I am from the owner. Then if I'm holding, then I'm going to go based on mouse position. If I'm not holding, am I docked? If I'm docked, if I'm not docked, then basically follow around my object, whatever it is. Now, some of this functionality comes with the widget that you can just add straight onto a class, but I found a lot of issues with actually, as I was saying, Z ordering before. It's not built for that. So that was why I kind of went into this. And there's a lot of things I did in here which were probably not the best ways of doing things. I'm still learning Unreal. I've only been at Unreal now for about 2 years. So realistically, it's only about a year and a half. But yeah, this is basically where I'm at. Okay, then I've got my tooltip tip widget, which is the one that's kind of like the hover over one. And then I've got the item widget base, which is the actual little items that sit inside that. So you've got the main widget, which is the dock, which is then you've got a derived, which is the container. So the container is a version of the dock, its inheritance. Then inside that, you've got a bunch of item widgets. So you'll have 4 or 6 or however many you want. And then you also have the hover over widget, which itself can be just an independent widget on the screen if you want, but you can just add it as a child as well. It's up to you. Anyway, that's pretty much what I just wanted to show, what I managed to build there. I will probably rebuild this entire system based on everything I've learned, because I believe there's a lot of ways I can make it better. Anyway, that's it. If you like this video, like it, sub to my channel, and follow my progress.